Hello, everyone, and welcome out to Orange County Great Park Stadium in Irvine, California for the last week of CCL baseball. Today's matchup features your Orange County Riptide and the Arroyo Seco Saints. The Riptide come into the matchup in second place in the CCL standings, a 17-11 league record. They are 18-14-1 overall. On the other hand, the Arroyo Seco Saints are 14-14 in league play, 16-14 overall. On the mound today for Orange County, the left-hander Tyler Booth, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Currently at LSU Eunice. Prior to that, he attended Barb High School. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Arroyo Seco Saints, led by the man at the plate, Anthony Forte. Booth delivers the first pitch of the ball game on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Thomas Lovano awaits in the on-deck circle. He hits second. In the hole, hitting third, Drew Coley. Hitting cleanup, Andy Garriola. Hitting fifth, Pete Durkee, as the 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed to drive the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Hitting sixth, Jason Gonzalez. Hitting seventh, Evan Russell. Hitting eighth, Thomas McCarthy. And batting ninth, capping off the lineup, Christian Scott. No balls and 2 strikes, Anthony Forte at the plate. Booth gets to sign, delivers the 0-2 pitch, outside and in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another beautiful day for baseball is upon us here in Irvine, California. Not a cloud in the sky. We do have somewhat of a breeze blowing out towards left field. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes at the plate, just getting started. The left-hander delivers a pitch. The bottom falls out of that one. Strike 3. Throw it around the horn, Connor Aoki. Tyler Booth opens up the ball game with a K.
Player for 15, Thomas Lovano.
Defensively for your Orange County Riptide, from left to right in the outfield, Antonio Cruz. In center field, Michael Peabody. In right, Joshua Solomon. At third base for the Riptide, Trey Lipscomb. At shortstop, Blake Fadul. At second base, Blake Evans. At first base, Andre Antone, the Big Cat. Behind the plate, Connor Aoki. And on the mound, of course, the left-handed stud, Tyler Booth. Thomas Lovano steps into the box, 1 man down here in the inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball that stays up and high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lovano comes into the ballgame leading the team in batting average, .360 on the season. That is accompanied by 4 home runs. Drew Coley awaits in the on-deck circle for the Saints. Just getting started, we are in the top half of the first inning. Anthony Forte, the leadoff hitter, opened up the game with a strikeout. This is popped up towards center field. It'll fall in front of Michael Peabody for a 1-out single.
By number 21, Drew Cowley.
Drew Cowley digs in, hitting .295 on the season. Thomas Lovano leads off of first. He reached on a single. Booth takes a look over. Throw back, and it looked like they would have had him picked off, but instead the throw gets past Andre Antone, making it all the way to third. Standing is Thomas Lovano. So Tyler Booth had a good move, but the throw was not there. The Saints have a runner at third base with only 1 man down here in the top half of the first inning. Drew Cowley at the play. Andy Garriola awaits on deck. Lefty on lefty matchup. Booth looks down the barrel to get a sign, delivers. The first pitch of the at-bat is chopped away foul. No balls and 1 strike. Booth sets, delivers the 0-1 pitch. That's caught as strike. 0-2. At the top of the CCO with an impressive league record of 22-6, the Santa Barbara Foresters, they are riding a 7-game winning streak. This is ripped out towards right center field, and it'll score the first run of the ball game. 1-0 in favor of the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Now by number 9, Andy Garriola.
Andy Garriola steps into the box. Has a solid .344 batting average coming into the ball game. Drew Cowley leads off at first, grounded towards the right side. The second baseman flips to short for one. On to first. The throw brings Antone off the bag, but he does a nice job recovering and applying the tag to Garriola for the third and final out of the inning. 4-6-3 double play as we head to the bottom half of the first. 1-0 in favor of the Saints. Michael Peabody steps into the box here in the bottom half of the first inning for the Riptide. Left-hander on the mound, Hayden Harris. He's out of Georgia Southern University, also out of Grovetown, Georgia. A management major. 6 feet tall, 175 pounds, as the 1-0 pitch is slicing down the left field line and out of play. At Georgia Southern during the 2019 season, Hayden Harris provided a 3.24 ERA, a 3-1 record. The opposition was hitting .208 against him. The 1-1 is flied out towards left field. Evan Russell takes a few steps back, and that one actually is out of his reach. On his way towards second, taking the third towards third. The throw down is not in time for Michael Peabody.
Did he touch that, or it just went over his glove?
Now batting from Binghamton University, number 19, Connor Aoki.
It looked like Evan Russell had a chance at the play, but perhaps the ball just kept on carrying on him. He made a final stretch at the end for it, but it got past his glove. So we'll score that one as a hit for Michael Peabody, who was standing on third base as Connor Aoki's at the plate. The starting lineup for your Orange County Riptide: Michael Peabody led things off. Connor Aoki currently at the plate hitting second. Dylan Rock hits third. Andre Anton hits cleanup. Trey Lipscomb hits in the number 5 hole. Josh Solomon batting 6th. Antonio Cruz out of Rice University hitting 7th. Blake Evans, the teammate of Hayden Harris, also out of Georgia Southern University, hits 8th. And Blake Fadul caps off the lineup at number 9. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Connor Aoki. He has the tying run 90 feet down the line for the Riptide, and Michael Peabody, who opened up the inning with a triple. It was a fly ball towards the left field. It looked like the left fielder for the Saints had a play on it, Evan Russell. He kept on going back, so the ball surely carried on him more than he expected. He gave it a final stretch, but it was out of his reach. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a lefty on righty matchup at the plate. Harris gets the sign, delivers the 1-2, slapped foul towards the right side, out of play. Dylan Rock awaits in the on-deck circle. We'll take a look at the Saints. From left to right in the outfield: Evan Russell, the left fielder; Christian Scott in center; Anthony Forte in right; Jason Gonzalez at third; Drew Coley at short; Thomas Lovato at second; Pete Durkee at first, as this is slicing down the right side, and it'll fall in for a base hit. RBI single off the bat of Connor Aoki. Raw tied up at 1.
Now batting from UT San Antonio, number 22, Dylan Rock.
Behind the plate, Thomas McCarthy, and of course on the mound, Hayden Harris. Dylan Rock steps into the box. Rock hitting .317 on the season. Connor Aoki leads off a first. The Riptide like to come on and bring the running game, so we'll see what they have in store for us. The left-hander delivers the pitch. It's low and in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Andre Anton awaits in the on-deck circle. 1-1 ball game. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. 2 hits apiece for each team. Harris delivers the pitch. Breaks too far inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Aoki leads off at first. He reached on an RBI single. The pitch to Dylan Rock is a chopper towards the left side. Cowley has it hit off his glove. Safely at first is Dylan Rock. E6 on the play. Trey Coley was looking to scoop it out of the dirt.
Now batting from UC Irvine, number 30, Andre Anton.
Was unable to come up with the ball cleanly. The Riptide are at runners on first and second. No men down. Andre Anton out of UC Irvine. The power bat at the plate. Hayden Harris takes a peek towards second. Delivers the first pitch of the at-bat high. 1 ball and no strikes. Aoki leads off a second. Dylan Rock leads off a first. Drew Cowley holding on the runner at second base as the 1-0 is popped up towards the right side and foul into the visitors' parking lot. 1 ball and 1 strike for Anton. Trey Lipscomb awaits in the on-deck circle. All tied up at 1. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. No men down. Hayden Harris sets. Takes another look back towards the runner at second base. Third pitch of the at-bat is fouled back towards the netting. The Orange County Riptide are coming off a 4-9 loss against the Santa Barbara Forcers. That game took place on Sunday. As a 1-2 to the Big Cat is swung on and missed for strike 3.
Now batting from the University of Tennessee, number 23, Trey Lipscomb.
That'll bring up Trey Lipscomb for the Riptide. He has runners on first and second base with only one man down. Harris Lovers hit off the end of the bat towards the right side and out of play. Trey Lipscomb out of the University of Tennessee at the plate. He has a good frame, 6'3", 190 pounds, out of Urbana High School. As the 0-1 is hit towards center field, Christian Scott takes a few steps back. He'll make the play, 2 men down.
Now batting from Columbia University, number 4, Josh Solomon.
A Columbia Lion in Joshua Solomon at the plate. 6'3", 200 pounds, out of Capistrano Valley High School in Mission Viejo, California. Aoki leads off a second, Dylan Rock off a first. Pitch misses outside for a ball and 1-0. We'll be right back here tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. A 3-game homestand this week for the Orange County Riptide. Today against the Saints, tomorrow against the Academy Barons. As the 1-0 pitch runs too far inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Thursday, a noon game, 12 p.m. start time against the Conejo Oaks. 2 balls and no strikes to Joshua Solomon. Antonio Cruz awaits in the on-deck circle. Herricks takes a peek towards second, delivers a 2-0. Pitch is swung on and missed. Big hack there from Solomon. He came up empty. At Columbia, Solomon hit .250 last season. The left-hander delivers a 2-1. Cut at and missed once again. The count is even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, perhaps Joshua Solomon will be looking to shorten up his swing here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He has swung and missed twice throughout this at-bat. Time is called at the plate. Michael Peabody opened up the inning with a triple. Connor Aoki cashed him in with an RBI single. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Hayden Harris delivers the pitch on the outside corner. Wide strike zone indeed. The home plate umpire calls strike 3. To the top of the second inning we go. We're all tied up at 1 here from Irvine, California. You're watching OC Riptide Baseball via YouTube Live. Jonathan Ortiz behind the mic. Pete Durkee leads things off here in the top half of the second inning for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Jason Gonzalez due up next, Evan Russell in the hole, and if anyone gets on, Thomas McCarthy. 1 ball and no strikes. Tyler Booth surrendered a run in the top half of the first inning as the 1-0 pitch is popped up behind the plate. Connor Aoki gives it a look, falls into the stands.
Watch out, there's a ball coming.
There it is. Oh, it actually came over.
Well, to the user Multi-Apples via YouTube Live, he says, great baseball, and of course, great baseball indeed. The CCL, a Premier League for baseball all throughout the summer. We are glad that we are here in Irvine, California, taking a first row look at it. The 1-1 runs inside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pete Durkee, just like Trey Lipscomb, also out of the University of Tennessee, as the 2-1 is off the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike now. Durkee out of Ackworth, Georgia. He's 5'11", 220 pounds. As the 3-1 pitch is ripped down the right field line. Will it stay fair? Perhaps it will. Right in front of the right field fence. And the play was made. Wow. That was a towering fly ball. It just stayed inside the field of play for sure, as the second baseman, Blake Evans, caught it right along the fence. Nice looking play for the first out of the top half of the second inning. Jason Gonzalez steps into the box. Gonzalez 6'2", 205 pounds. Lefty on righty matchup. Booth gets the sign, delivers a 1-0 pitch. Grounded right back up the middle. No one is there. 1 out single.
Now batting number 8, Evan Russell.
Tyler Booth came into the ball game having had thrown 28 complete innings, accompanied by a very good 2.25 ERA. Well, the infield looking for a double play. Evan Russell trying to avoid it. Evan Russell, another guy out of the University of Tennessee. 5'11", 190 pounds. Attended Scotts Hill High School out of Lexington, Tennessee. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Top half of the second inning, all tied up at 1 away. Thomas McCarthy awaits in the on-deck circle. Here's a 1-1. Grounded up the middle. The second baseman cuts it off, steps on the bag for 1. On to first, double play. Blake Evans turns 2 for the Riptide. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. The score remains all tied up at 1. LC Riptide baseball from Irvine, California. Antonio Cruz leads things off here in the bottom half of the second inning for your Orange County Riptide. The left-hander delivers the pitch off the end of the bat towards the right side and out of play. Blake Evans awaits in the on-deck circle. Blake Fadul in the hole. And if anyone gets on, Michael Peabody in the top of the lineup. No balls and one strike. Here's the 0-1. Grounded towards the left side. Jason Gonzalez is there. Very strong throw over towards first base. One away.
Now batting from Georgia Southern University, number 15, Blake Evans.
Well, a matchup of teammates. Hayden Harris and Blake Evans, both out of Georgia Southern University. First pitch of the at-bat is outside and in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, I'm going to ask our stats guy, Ryan. So, Ryan, in a matchup like this, where both of these guys are teammates, who has the upper hand?
Pitcher.
The pitcher, why?
Actually, I'll say the pitcher knows the weak spots of the batter,
Okay.
but the batter knows what his mistakes will be and when to capitalize.
Ah,
so
okay.
as long as the pitcher
Well,
doesn't throw him at his back, we should be fine.
I was listening to Ryan, but then comes an inside fastball that hits Blake Evans on the back. So we can't really
Now batting from
confirm your
Santa Clara
statement,
University, number 9, Blake
at least not during
Fadul.
this at-bat.
Well, Blake Evans took advantage of a mistake.
Oh, very well.
You're right.
Well, he kind of had no choice because the ball was coming straight to him, but you know.
But he took advantage of it.
You know, what do you think? He could have refused to go to first base? Yeah.
And he could have ducked.
He could have ducked. Oh, wow. Blake Fadul fouls one off his foot. No balls and one strike. So what Ryan was telling me is that he thinks that the pitcher somewhat has the upper hand because he knows the weak spot of the batter. But the batter also knows the mistakes that the pitcher is prone to doing, so he can go ahead and capitalize on that. But you give the upper hand to the pitcher then, right? At least slightly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually thought it'd perhaps be the batter who would have the upper hand because he knows what the pitcher, you know, has in his arsenal and where his locations are and
I
whatnot.
think the biggest advantage is if the catcher is of the same team as the guy hitting.
Ah, okay. That's a very
Because then
unique
you can-
perspective
then you
there.
can choose specifically and try and fight that advantage.
The 0-2 pitch to Blake Fadul is the same pitch that struck out Joshua Solomon during the bottom half of the first inning, pardon me. An outside
Now batting from
fastball.
Number 36, Michael Peabody.
Didn't seem to catch any of the play from up here, but of course, all respects to the home plate umpire. He has the ultimate decision. So yeah, Ryan was mentioning that he thinks that the catcher would actually have the most amount of advantage because he's directly behind the play, and in essence, he calls the shots. But unfortunately, Thomas McCarthy, or you can say fortunately, at least for the hitter, Blake Evans, McCarthy does not attend Georgia Southern University. Michael Peabody steps into the box for his second at-bat of the afternoon. Takes a 1-0 pitch on the inner half to even up the count at 1. Peabody reached on a triple, then came around to score during the bottom half of the first inning. There he goes, a runner from first. Ground ball up the middle past the glove of the shortstop. Advancing all the way towards third is Blake Evans.
Stay at second.
Or check that. Blake Evans actually decided to stay at second base. On his way towards third, I put my head down trying
Number
to
19, Connor Aoki.
take note of his advance in my scorebook, but then looking up, our scoreboard guy, Don, says he stayed on second base. So we'll go ahead and respect Blake Evans' decision. Drew Coley had a chance at a double play. It just got past his glove, though the ball did not make contact with his glove, so they scored that one a hit. Connor Aoki takes a first pitch strike on the outer half, 0-1. Aoki had an RBI single during the bottom half of the first inning in his first at-bat. Blake Evans leads off a second. Michael Peabody leads off a first. 1-1 ball game in the bottom half of the second inning. Harris takes a look back. He'll step off the rubber. Dylan Rock awaits in the on-deck circle. The outfield playing at a normal depth. Harris delivers the 0-1 pitch. Hit out towards right field. Anthony Forte perfectly located for the third and final out of the inning. To the top half of the third we go. The score remains 1-1. Thomas McCarthy opens up here in the top half of the third inning. One ball and no strikes. Christian Scott awaits in the on-deck circle. Anthony Forte in the hole. We thank you all for joining us for today's broadcast of Orange County Riptide Baseball. We like to make it an interactive one, so in the chat section of your page and of your screen, go ahead and drop something down, perhaps where you're watching from, any questions you may have, or just any comments in general. We like to chat it up. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Thomas McCarthy. The 2-1 is hit towards the left side and into left field for a base hit. A very hard ground ball off the bat of McCarthy. Blake Fadul had no business catching up to it.
Now by number 12, Christian Scott.
The Florida Gator, Christian Scott, steps into the box. He's out of Parkland, Florida. Attended Calvary Christian Academy High School. The bunt is shown, laid down but foul. Hit off the end of the bat. The left fielder, Antonio Cruz, will have to play it on a hop. Back-to-back singles puts runners on first and second base with no men down for Anthony Forte.
Now batting number 2, Anthony Forte.
Forte struck out swinging during the top half of the first inning to open up the ball game. Only one strikeout in the matchup thus far for Tyler Booth on the mound for the Riptide. Hayden Harris, on the other hand, has 3 strikeouts. Booth delivers on the inner half below the plate, or below the knees, pardon me, 1 ball and no strikes. So Christian Scott, board at first base, is actually out of Tennessee and not Florida, pardon me. Apparently have the wrong Christian Scott. This is popped up towards the left side. The third baseman, Trey Lipscomb, in foul territory, had his hand along the netting, reached for the ball, was not able to catch up to it.
It was almost the same thing as that.
See? If you Google their names, there are 2 Christian Scotts. One out of Florida and the other one out of the University of Tennessee. The one we have is out of the University of Tennessee. Lefty on lefty matchup at the plate. Anthony Forte takes strike 2. Thomas Lovano waits in the on-deck circle. Forte comes into the ballgame hitting .312 for the Saints. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tyler Booth looking for strikeout number 2. Instead, this is flied out towards left center field. Michael Peabody tracks it down. The runner on second base, McCarthy, advances, and so does the runner, Christian Scott, from first base, do the same.
Now batting number 15, Thomas Lovano.
Thomas Lovano steps into the box. He singled his first at bat. He's 1 for 1. In the top half of the first inning, Lovano reached on a single. Then he advanced all the way to third on a throwing error from the pitcher, Tyler Booth, on the mound during an attempt to pick him off. Snowballs and 1 strike. Drew Cowley awaits in the on-deck circle. 1-1 ball game. We're in the top half of the third inning. The Arroyo Seco Saints and the Orange County Riptide as the 0-1 is slapped foul towards the right side on the ground. The breeze continues to blow out towards left field. Booth gets the sign from Connor Aoki behind the plate. Delivers the 0-2 pitch. It's in the dirt, swung on and missed for strike 3. Connor Aoki throws the ball down the line at Andre Antone, but prior to that, he took a look at Trey Lipscomb. So make sure that the runner from third base, Thomas McCarthy, did not have any thoughts of coming home. That was a second strikeout of the ballgame for Tyler Booth. Drew Cowley with an opportunity. Had an RBI single in the top half of the first inning, his first at-bat. He's ahead in the count at 1 ball and no strikes. Andy Garriola awaits in the on-deck circle. Thomas McCarthy leading off a third. Christian Scott leads off a second. Both of those players reached on a pair of singles. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Grounded towards the right side out of Georgia Southern University. Blake Evans is there. He'll make the throw, and that'll put an end to the top half of the third. To the bottom half we go. Score remains all tied up at 1. You're watching OC Riptide Baseball via YouTube Live. Jonathan Ortiz behind the plate.
Third, no run.
Bottom half of the third inning. Dylan Rock standing at first base. He hit a ground ball towards the shortstop, Drew Cowley, who threw it over towards first base. The throw was there in time, but the first base umpire said that Pete Durkee did not keep his foot on the bag. Durkee then argued to his coach that he did. The manager for the Arroyo Seco Saints came out to have a discussion with the first base umpire. The first base umpire decided to have a group discussion with the rest of the umpiring crew, and the decision is safe at first. But nonetheless, they have Dylan Rock picked off, and the out is applied at second base.
Just give it to him.
Well, Dylan Rock gives the out right back to the Saints. One away this half inning. Andre Anton at the plate. He struck out swinging his first time up during the bottom half of the first inning. Takes an 0-1 pitch low at the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trey Lipscomb awaits on deck. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Popped up towards the right side. Thomas Lovano waved off by his right fielder Anthony Forte, who makes the play. 2 men down. Trey Lipscomb digs in. He flew out towards center field his first time up. 1-1 ball game in the bottom half of the third inning. Both runs in the game came during the top and bottom half of the first inning. Hayden Harris delivers a ball below the knees. 1-0 the count. Joshua Solomon awaits on deck. The left-hander gets the sign, delivers a 1-0 pitch. That's fouled away. Count even out, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 runs too far inside. So now 2 balls and 1 strike. And how about it? The Dodgers were down 6-5 in the top half of the 9th inning, as this is grounded towards the second baseman Thomas Lovano for the third and final out. Then a rookie hit a 3-run shot to give him an 8-6 lead. Beatty, you are a stud.
No hits, 1 error, and no
To the top of the 4th we go. Outside about 1.
Dodgers hit 5 of them.
We're right on pace for a 3-hour game.
Top of the 4th inning, Andy Garriola leads things off here for the Arroyo Seco Saints. He'll be followed by Pete Durkee and Jason Gonzalez. Evan Russell, if anyone gets on. Tyler Booth delivers a fastball that is swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors in the game for the Saints. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error in the game for the Riptide. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Carriola out of Sierra Madre, California. 6'4", 225 pounds. He grounds a ball foul towards the left side. He attended Damien High School. Out of Old Dominion University. He is a criminal justice major. As a 1-2 pitch to him.
Hit him.
It's in the dirt. It's even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We have some defensive subs, but I'll get to that in a second, once I figure it out.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Booth delivers a pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Aoki throws over towards first base. The out is recorded.
How about number 32, Pete Perkins?
Pete Durkee steps into the box. He popped up towards the second baseman his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Durkee attended Alatoona High School. Takes the first pitch for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count. 1 man down in the inning. We're in the top half of the 4th. The 0-1 is hit out towards left field. Coming in is Antonio Cruz, but Blake Fadul heads out into shallow left to make the play.
How about number 16, Jason Gonzalez?
So some changes on the field for the Riptide. Now at first base, Joshua Solomon. Andre Anton, who was at first, moves over towards third. Trey Lipscomb moves to second base. The 0-1 runs inside. It swung on and missed. Now it's no balls and 2 strikes. Connor Roby takes over right field. Oh, into the count. Booth looks down the barrel to get a sign. Delivers the pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3 strikeouts in the ball game thus far for Tyler Booth. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off speed on the outside corner, taken for strike 3. Strikeout number 4 of the ball game for Tyler Booth takes us to the bottom half of the 4th inning. All tied up at 1 from Orange County Great Park Stadium. Jonathan Ortiz behind the mic for your Orange County Riptide. Josh Solomon due up for the Riptide. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Antonio Cruz waits in the on-deck circle. In the hole, Connor Obi. He's taking over for Blake Evans in the 8th spot. Here's a 1-1 to Solomon. Fastball that runs way outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Solomon ahead in the count. No walks in the ballgame thus far for Hayden Harris out of Georgia Southern University. The 2-1 runs too far inside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike now the count. Lefty on righty matchup at the plate. Harris sets, delivers a 3-1 pitch. Fouled away. The count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch. Chopped towards the left side. Backhanded stop by Jason Gonzalez. Strong throw across the diamond. 1 away.
Now batting from Rice University, number 1, Antonio Cruz.
Now out of Rice University, Antonio Cruz steps into the box for his second at-bat of the evening. He grounded out towards third base his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Connor Obi in the on-deck circle. Hayden Harris delivers. Found back towards the netting, 0-1. Antonio Cruz out of Rice University. 6 feet tall, 197 pounds. Count is now no balls and 2 strikes. Cruz out of Houston, Texas. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That's fouled away into the parking lot. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. The Riptide bring players from all over the country here to California. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. A lot of these players decide to participate in order to stay loose for the upcoming season at their respective schools. And also a lot of these players want to showcase their talents to some of the scouts here in the West Coast. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hayden Harris delivers a fastball that is swung on and missed for strike 3. That is strikeout number 4 of the ballgame for the left-hander out of Georgia Southern. I'll make room for Connor Obi. He is taking Blake Evans' spot in the lineup. Blake Evans was hit by the pitch on the back during the bottom half of the 2nd inning. The first pitch is fouled off the catcher's mask. The home plate umpire made sure to hold on to him. But it looks like Thomas McCarthy took the hit quite well. Didn't shake him up quite a bit. As a matter of fact, he holds a thumbs up down the first base line and into the dugout, letting the coaches and the trainers know that he is okay. It's no balls and 1 strike to Connor Obi. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the outside half. It swung on and missed 0-2. Blake Fadola waits in the on-deck circle. All tied up at 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning as the 0-2 pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We've seen this home plate umpire be fairly lenient with the outside corners. As the 1-2 pitch runs inside for strike 3. It's in the dirt, but recovered by McCarthy, who throws over towards first. The third and final out of the inning as we head towards the top half of the 5th. All tied up at 1. Evan Russell leads things off here in the top half of the 5th inning for the Arroyo Seco Saints. He grounded towards second base his first time up. Tyler Booth out for his 5th inning of work. So far, he has surrendered 1 run on 5 hits. He also has 4 strikeouts as 1-0 pitch misses for a ball. It's 2-0. Thomas McCarthy awaits on deck. Christian Scott in the hole.
Oh, he's just one.
3 balls and no strikes now the count. Some very upset Dodger fans in the booth as the Phillies have apparently come back to win the ball game. Pitch is called a strike 3-1. Last time I checked, it was 8-6 heading into the bottom of the 9th. How did they win?
Bryce Harper did double score too.
Bryce Harper hit a walk-off double. Wow. Well, Kenley Jansen is surely having a down year for the Dodgers.
Now batting number 33, Thomas McCarthy.
Maybe they should have gone out to get Craig Kimbrell. Man, that's really frustrating indeed. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You have Matt Beatty, who hits you a go-ahead home run, 3-run shot to put you up 8-6. And then Kenley Jansen comes in to blow a save. Like I said, it's been a down year for him. It's got to frustrate the Dodgers and their fan base for sure. Nonetheless, the Dodgers hold a very hefty lead in the National League West Division. I think perhaps they're up by 12 games at least or so, something like that. 14 and a half, actually, according to Joe, our PA announcer. Kenley Jansen has a 3.72 ERA this season. You know, another closer in the MLB who has really fallen off as a runner takes over from first. Throw down towards second. Tag applied at his left arm. He's called out. Connor Aoki says good night to Evan Russell as Thomas McCarthy remains at the plate. The closer for the Mets, Edwin Diaz. He was phenomenal last season. An all-star, I think he led the league in saves perhaps. Now this time around, I think he has an ERA even above 5. No balls and 2 strikes to Thomas McCarthy. Booth delivers the pitch, grounded towards the left side. Andre Antone comes to the ground, unable to make the play.
What do you want there? Yeah, okay.
We'll score that one a hit for Thomas McCarthy. I think Antone was able to get at least a piece of it,
I think that's a good.
but not enough. As Christian Scott steps in with a runner on first base and 1 man down. Scott reached on a single during the top half of the 3rd inning. Anthony Forte on the top of the lineup awaits on deck. Booth delivers the pitch that's on the outside corner, misses below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Evan Russell opened up the inning with a single. He attempted to steal second. Connor Aoki was able to nail him. The 1-0 is ripped foul down the left field line and out of play. Kudos to our stats guy, Ryan Farron. He's given me the stats for Edwin Diaz. This year, he has a 5.35 ERA. Wow. His whip in 2018 was 0.7791, but here in 2019, it's 1.443. Wow.
He's allowing double the amount of base runners than he did last year.
Wow. Ryan says he is allowing double the amount of base runners than he did last year. Poor Mets, man. They have it rough. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count turns into 3-1. Who did they acquire via that trade? It was Robinson Cano too, right?
It was
Robbie Cano, Sugar Diaz,
and then it was just those 2
and so apparently just those 2.
in exchange for the number 6 pick of the 2018 draft, their number 3 prospect, their number 4 prospect, Jay Bruce and Anthony Swarzak.
Okay, so it was for a couple of prospects, some draft picks, and Jay Bruce and who else?
Anthony Swarzak.
Oh, and Anthony Swarzak. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Christian Scott at the plate.
That number 6 pick is a phenom.
Chopped foul. The count remains full. All tied up at 1 here in the top half of the 5th inning. All the scoring was done during the first. 1 came in to score for the Saints. 1 came in to score for the Riptide. The Saints have 6 hits. The Riptide have 3. The 3-2 pitch on the outside corner, and it misses just off the outer block for ball 4. Anthony Forte steps into the box. Runner is on first and second base with no men down. The pitching coach for the Orange County Riptide will go out to have a chat with his pitcher on the mound, Tyler Booth. No movement yet in the bullpen for Orange County. No movement yet in the bullpen as well for the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Put 1 down.
Anthony Forte due up next for the Arroyo Seco Saints out of the University of Richmond. The Richmond Spiders.
How about number 2, Anthony Forte?
Hit 280 during the 2019 season. Had a .537 slugging percentage. He stole 4 bases. Hits this one up the middle. It'll fall in for a base hit. They'll play it station to station. The bases are loaded. Well, there's been a total of 4 base runners this half inning for Tyler Booth. Evan Russell, the leadoff hitter, reached on a walk, but then he was thrown out trying to steal second base. Thomas McCarthy, who is on third, singled. Christian Scott, who is on second, walked. Anthony Forte, who is on first, singled. Bases loaded for Thomas Lovano. Lefty on righty matchup. The outfield playing deep. The wind is picking up a bit, blowing out towards left field. Tyler Booth sets. Delivers a pitch. Hit foul towards the right side and out of play. Drew Cowley awaits in the on-deck circle. The base is full of Saints for Thomas Lovano, trying to capitalize for his ball club and give them the lead here in the top half of the 5th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded towards the right side. No one is there. It'll fall in for a single. The runner on third takes a turn, but he is held up by his third base coach. Christian Scott almost overran the stop sign.
Now batting number 21, Drew Cowley.
Drew Cowley steps into the box. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Has the bases loaded with 1 man down. Hit towards the left side. On his horse is Antonio Cruz. He dives, but he comes up empty. That'll be a bases clearing triple, perhaps, as the throw down towards third base is not in time, and indeed it is. 4 runs have come in to score this half inning for the Saints. They are on top, 5-1, here in the top half of the 5th inning. Now we see a right-hander getting loose and warm in the pen for Orange County. Andy Garriolo looking to pile on some more damage here for the Riptide. Garriola takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. The infield comes to play in. Noah Walker waits in the on-deck circle. We'll check that in the bullpen, actually, for the Riptide. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Andy Garriola leads down the line at third. Pitches on the outside half, misses 2 balls and 1 strike. Pete Durkee waits on deck. The left-hander delivers. Fly ball towards left field. Antonio Cruz is there. Deep enough for the runner to tag. The throw down to the plate is cut off by the third baseman, Andre Antone. RBI sac fly for Andy Garriola. An additional run comes in to score this half inning for the Saints. 6-1 ball game.
Now batting number 32, Pete Durkee.
Durkee takes the first pitch on the inner half for a strike. It's 0-1. Lefty on lefty matchup should favor the pitcher. The 0-1 is well located for a strike. 0-2 now the count. Tyler Booth out of LS Eunice has found himself in some trouble here in the top half of the 5th inning, surrendering 5 runs as the 0-2 is grounded towards the right side. Trey Lipscomb is there. He'll put an end to the bleeding. To the bottom of the 5th we go. The Riptide are down by 5, 6-1 the score.
like a year ago.
Yesterday.
No balls and 1 strike. Bottom half of the 5th inning for the Riptide. Blake Fadul leads things off in the inning. Michael Peabody awaits on deck. Connor Aoki in the hole. Hayden Harris remains on the mound for Orange County. It's no balls and 2 strikes now. Well, it's a 5-run deficit, but it's still fairly early in the game. Bottom half of the 5th inning, there is a ton of baseball to be played. Can we do it? Yes. Will we do it? I don't know. Let's see. Here's the 0-2 to Harris, or from Harris, pardon me. That swung on and missed for strike 3. Michael Peabody due up. He tripled his first time up, then singled during his second at-bat.
Peabody.
Connor Aoki awaits on deck. Dylan Rock in the hole. 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Saints. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Riptide. Peabody lays down a bunt foul towards the left side into the hands of Connor Aoki in the on-deck circle. Bottom half of the 5th inning, 6-1 ball game. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Michael Peabody. That is swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Harris delivers the 0-2. Michael Peabody wanted to hold up, but he ends up swinging anyways for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts open up business here in the bottom half of the 5th inning for the
Now batting
Riptide.
from Binghamton University, number 19, Connor Aoki.
Coming into the ballgame, Hayden Harris had thrown 20 complete innings, posting a 4.05 ERA. That is now strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the ballgame for Hayden Harris. Meanwhile, Connor Aoki deposits a 2-out single towards the left field side.
Now batting from UT San Antonio, number 22, Dylan Rock.
Dylan Rock steps into the box. Rock is 0 for 2. He's reached twice on a pair of errors. Andre Anton awaits on deck. Lefty on righty matchup. The Riptide trying to chip away at this deficit. Fastball on the inner half taken for a ball. It's 1-0. Harris sets. Delivers a 1-0 pitch. Fouled back towards the netting. We saw Noah Walker warming up in the Riptide bullpen during the top half of the 5th inning. We can expect to see him during the top half of the 6th. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dylan Rock. Harris takes a peek towards first. Delivers an off-speed pitch in the dirt. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1. In there for a strike to even up the count at 2-2. Andre Anton awaits on deck. Trey Lipscomb in the hole. Blake Fadul and Michael Peabody both opened up the inning with a strikeout. Connor Aoki at first reached on a 2-out single. Hayden Harris looking to put the single behind him as the 2-2 is grounded towards the left side. The shortstop, Drew Cowley, talks the ball into his glove, flips it into second base, and that'll put an end to the fifth. We head to the top half of the sixth inning. 6-1 the score here from Irvine, California. Noah Walker takes over on the mound for the Orange County Riptide. Good size, show him he's 6'4", 220 pounds, out of Austin, Texas. Attended Bowie High School. He's out of Texas State University. Jason Gonzalez at the plate. Evan Russell waits on deck. Thomas McCarthy in the hole if anyone gets on. Christian Scott. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the lineup. No balls and 2 strikes now the count. 9 hits in the ball game for the Saints. They've seen the ball well today, and we are only in the top half of the 6th inning. We open up the ballgame with Tyler Booth. Nubler towards the right side. It'll fall foul. Tyler Booth surrendered 6 earned runs on 9 hits. Harris looks down the barrel to get a sign. Ahead in the count on no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Throw it around the horn. Connor Aoki. First out of the inning.
Now batting number 8, Evan Russell.
Pitch runs inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, it's July 16th. You know what that means, Don? It's National Chef Day. Yeah,
National what day?
Chef Day.
Chef day?
Yeah, Chef Day. Do we have any chefs up here in the booth? Ryan, are you a chef?
I can burn down houses.
Oh, you can burn down houses for sure, yeah.
I mean, not great.
With the toaster or with the microwave? Tell me.
I would say microwave.
Oh, okay, perfect. What about you, Don? Are you a chef yourself? No, not at all? Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That's on the inner half. 2 balls and 1 strike, and finally, Joe, are you a chef?
I can make food.
You can make food? All right, what's your specialty?
Cuban food.
Cuban food. Ah,
Double.
dime, lechón. ¿Qué más hay? Plátano frito. Hit out towards right field. It'll fall in for a 1-out single. What kind of food do you make, huh? Tell me, Joe.
All the food that you just named off right there.
Ajá, ropa vieja,
Now batting number 33, Thomas McCarthy.
relleno de papa, all that?
Ropa vieja, arroz con gris.
Okay. Thomas McCarthy steps into the box. Has a runner on first base with 1 man down. Noah Walker gets the sign. The right-hander out of Texas State delivers chop towards the left side. Antone turns to second. He does not throw the ball. Hesitates. Throws towards first. It gets away from Joshua Solomon. Solomon recovers. Throws towards third, pardon me. And, well, everyone's safe everywhere. So how are we scoring?
Now batting number 12, Christian Scott.
Aaron gave that an error.
Or beef.
E5.
We'll score that one an error. E5 on the play. Anton perhaps had trouble getting the ball out of his glove as he looked towards second base. Threw over towards first instead. Joshua Solomon had a trickle away from his glove, giving the opportunity Evan Russell to advance to third. So there are runners on the corners with 1 man down. Christian Scott steps into the box. Here's the 1-0. Foul towards the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike. The infield looking to turn 2. Noah Walker looking to induce something on the ground. Righty on lefty matchup. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Grounder towards the left side and out of play. Russell leads off a third. Thomas McCarthy leads off a first. McCarthy reached on an error. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Christian Scott just manages to get a piece of that one to stay alive. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Anthony Forte awaits in the on-deck circle for the Saints. 6-1 ball game. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. The Riptide were looking to flip the page coming into this ballgame after losing to the Santa Barbara Foresters on Sunday. Noah Walker steps off the rubber. The right-hander looks down the barrel to get a sign. Connor Aoki gives him the target. That pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. That'll make way for Anthony Forte. Struck out his first time up. Hit a sacrifice flyout. His second time up, then he singled during the top half of the 5th inning when he also came around to score. In the top half of the 5th is when the Saints put up a 5 spot to give them the 6-1 lead they are enjoying now. Walker delivers the pitch. That's in there for a strike. It's 0-1. No movement in the bullpen for Orange County. No movement in the bullpen for Royal Seco. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from the right-hander. Breaking ball that stays up high. It's now 1-1. Walker gets the sign, delivers a 1-1 pitch home. Breaking ball that stays outside. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners on the corners, 2 men down. Walker looking to escape the inning without surrendering a run. As the 2-1 is in the dirt, nice job by Connor Aoki to keep it in front of him, preventing the runner from third, Evan Russell, from scoring. Remember, we'll be right back here tomorrow night at 6:30 against the Academy Barons. Back here Thursday at noon against the Conejo Oaks. The 3-1 is tipped into the catcher's glove. The count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Noah Walker has 2 strikeouts this half inning, looking to make it 3 to strike out the side. The big guy out of Texas State delivers a payoff pitch. That's hit well and deep towards the right side, but also well out of play. Anthony Forte very out in front of the last pitch, but got a good piece of wood on it. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fouled back towards the netting. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Noah Walker delivers. Fouled away once again. The 3rd foul ball in a row. Anthony Forte refusing to go down without a fight. On the mound, Noah Walker refusing to give in. Thomas Lovano waits in the on-deck circle. The full count pitch is in the dirt for ball 4. Snuck away just a bit from Connor Aoki, but not far enough for the runner from third to score.
Now batting number 15, Thomas Lovano.
Thomas Lovano steps into the box. 1 for 1 with a single. Well, at least that was after his first at-bat, but then he struck out in the 3rd. And he had an RBI single in the 5th. So that puts him at 2 for 3 with a strikeout and a pair of singles. The bases are full of Saints for the 2nd time in a row. It happened during the top of the 5th. It's happening here during the top of the 6th. During the top of the 5th inning, it was a bases-clearing triple from the bat of Drew Cowley, who was in the on-deck circle. Now Thomas Lovano looking to replicate what his teammate brought to the table, or perhaps surpass it. No balls and 1 strike, righty-on-righty matchup. Noah Walker looks down the barrel to get a sign. He's in some trouble, but he has yet to surrender a run this half inning. Chopper towards the left side. Andre Anton plays it on a hop. He'll step on the bag for the 3rd and final out. So Noah Walker escapes the inning unscathed. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. We're down by 5, but we've got some baseball to play. and we've got a deficit to chip at. Stay right here. You're watching OC Riptide Baseball via YouTube Live. Jonathan Ortiz behind the mic. To the bottom half of the sixth inning we go. The big cat, Andre Antone, steps into the litter box. Trey Lipscomb awaits on deck. Joshua Solomon in the hole, and Antonio Cruz if anyone gets on. Hayden Harris out for his sixth inning of work. This is flied out towards right field. Anthony Forte takes a few steps back in front of the right center field track for the first loud out of the bottom of the sixth.
Now batting from the University of Tennessee, number 23, Trey Lipscomb.
That'll make room for Trey Lipscomb out of the University of Tennessee. He is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out. The Riptide need to string together some base runners. Pitch is grounded towards the left side. The shortstop, Drew Cowley, does a nice job scooping the ball into his glove. It was hit hard, but he took a few steps back, scooped it in nicely for the first out, or check that, the second out, actually, of the bottom of the sixth inning.
Now batting from Columbia University, number 4, Josh Solomon.
That'll make room for Joshua Solomon, and so fast, we already have 2 away. Joshua Solomon out of Columbia University takes the first pitch for a ball. And sure enough, I'm sure he took it because the first 2 pitches of the inning were outs. Solomon is 0 for 2. He struck out looking during the bottom of the first, and he grounded out towards third base in the bottom of the fourth inning. Hits this one towards straightaway center field. Christian Scott's camps underneath it. And check that. It actually hit off his glove, or he actually dropped it. Or, well, the ball just fell in the outfield. Apparently, Christian Scott had no idea where it was at. He stood in place, so I was sure he had a play on the ball. I mean, from our perspective, you do not have an opportunity to look at his facial expressions. Perhaps it was confused. They score that one a hit for Joshua Solomon. This is hit out towards right field, but it looks like Anthony Forte sees this one. He brings it in for the third and final out. Well, despite a hit, a very quick bottom half of the sixth inning for the Riptide. Well, first pitch swinging will do this to you. We head to the top of the seventh. 6-1 in favor of the Saints. Drew Cowley leads things off here in the top half of the 7th inning. For the Arroyo Seco Saints, Andy Garriola awaits on deck, Pete Durkee in the hole. If anyone gets on, Jason Gonzalez this half inning for Arroyo Seco. Cowley had a bases-clearing triple during the top half of the 5th inning that really broke things wide open. A 6-1 ball game. Pitch is outside, low end in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Drew Cowley out of Cal Poly Pomona. 5'10", 185 pounds. The 1-0 is chopped foul. Cowley out of Upland, California. He also attended Upland High School. Six runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Saints. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Riptide. It was a tight ball game up until the 5th inning. Here's a ground ball that hugs the line and stays fair on his way towards second and getting there safely with a leadoff stand-up double, Drew Cowley. That'll make room for Andy Garriola.
Number 9, Andy Garriola.
Garriola is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice RBI. He grounded into a double play, 4-6-3 in the top of the 1st. Struck out swinging in the top of the 1st. And then hit a sacrifice flyout in the top of the 5th. Righty on righty matchup at the plate. Noah Walker remains on the mound for the Riptide. No movement in the pen for Orange County. No movement in the pen for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Hayden Harris scheduled to go out there during the bottom half of this half inning, bottom of the 7th. Well, we are still on pace for a 3-hour ball game. No balls and 1 strike. Walker takes a peek towards second, settles back in, delivers a slider on the outer half. Nice backhander stop by Connor Aoki. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. The Saints have managed to put 11 hits on the scoreboard. Here's a 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. The outfield shaded a bit towards right, playing fairly deep. Pete Durkee awaits in the on-deck circle. Walker looks down the barrel to get a sign. The big right-hander delivers a 2-1. That's slap foul towards the right side and out of play. You know, I really hope that most of these foul balls are recovered because we have a ton of them throughout the ballgame. And I know these balls are expensive, so the incentive here at the stadium is that if you go out and retrieve a ball, you'll get a little treat. I think it's a dum-dum lollipop, but, you know, it's the thought that counts. Here's the 2-2 pitch, inside fastball that stays high. The count is now full 3-2. Here comes the full count pitch to Andy Garriola. Takes an inside fastball for strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Noah Walker as Pete Durkee, the first baseman, steps into the box.
Number 32, Pete Durkee.
Andrew Davis getting loose and warm in the bullpen for your Orange County Riptide. Once again, we thank you for joining us on a Tuesday evening live from Orange County Great Park Stadium in Irvine, California. The last week of CCL baseball. Righty on lefty matchup. Walker takes a peek towards second first, then delivers the pitch. Fastball on the inner half. It runs too far inside, says the home plate umpire. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Jason Gonzalez awaits in the on-deck circle. Pete Durkee is 0 for 3 today. Popped up twice and grounded out towards second base once. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. On a platter. Looked good from here. Seemed to be at the belt, but called the ball. It's 2-0. Walker gets the sign. The 2-0 pitch to Aoki. High fastball. It's now 3 balls and no strikes.
Now by number 16, Jason Gonzalez.
Pete Durkee able to work out a walk as Jason Gonzalez steps into the box. Gonzalez is 1 for 3 with a single and 2 strikeouts. Blake Fadul and Trey Lipscomb up the middle looking to turn 2. Slider well located for a strike. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count, 1 man down. We are in the top half of the 7th inning. 6-1 ball game in favor of the Arroyo Seco Saints. The pitch is swung on and missed 0-2. Well, since we have our general manager Mo here, I'm going to ask him a question. Well, what's the biggest deficit you've seen your team come back from?
Pittsburgh, playoffs.
What was the deficit there?
8 runs down in the 8th.
Ah. So he said it was against Healdsburg in the playoffs. They were down by 8 runs in the 8th inning. They came back to win the ball game as the 0-2 pitch to Gonzalez is in there for strike 3. That is strikeout number 5.
Now by number 8, Evan Russell.
Evan Russell digs in. He grounded out towards second base in the 2nd inning. Struck out in the 4th. Had a single in the 6th. It's a ground ball towards the right side. Shading all the way towards his right and making the play. Trey Lipscomb. No Walker heads up covering the bag at first. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's time for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Meanwhile, the Riptide are trying to take us out to some runs. 6-1. Connor Obie leads things off here in the bottom half of the 7th inning for your Orange County Riptide. He came in to replace Blake Evans in the lineup during the bottom half of the 4th inning. Connor Obie's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Blake Fadul awaits on deck. Michael Peabody in the hole if anyone gets on. Connor Aoki will have a chance to look at some action here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 ball and no strikes. That pitch misses high. It's now 2-0. We do see a right-hander getting loose and warm in the bullpen for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Hayden Harris currently out for his 7th inning of work. He has only surrendered 1 run. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Big hack swung on and missed by Obie. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. High fastball. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, down by 5. The Riptide just looking to get on any way possible. Just looking to pass on the baton. They're down by 5 runs, so you cannot bring it back with 1 swing of the bat just yet. The count is full, 3-2. Seven strikeouts in the ballgame so far for Hayden Harris. Remember, Hayden Harris out of Georgia Southern University. The count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Harris gets the sign, delivers the payoff pitch. Fouled back towards the netting. Connor will be just able to get a piece of it to stay alive. Second straight foul ball off his bat. Blake Fadul in the on-deck circle. Down by 5 runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The payoff pitch once again is swung on and missed for strike 3. From 3-1 to strike 3, Hayden Harris delivers his 8th strikeout of the ball game. Not of Santa Clara University, Blake Fadul steps into the box here for the Riptide with no men on and 1 man down. Pitch is swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Michael Peabody waits on deck. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's swung on and missed, 0-2. So throughout this ballgame, one thing that I've really noticed is that the Riptide have swung and missed quite often. Hayden Harris stealing on the mound. Has 8 strikeouts throughout the ballgame thus far. As the 0-2 pitch is on the outside corner for strike 3. That is the 3rd time this game where the home plate umpire gives Harris on the mound that pitch on the outer half. A fairly wide strike zone if you ask me. As Michael Peabody steps into the box. Peabody tripled to open up the ballgame. He then came around to score. He singled his second at bat, then struck out during the bottom of the 5th. That pitch is called a strike 0-1. Lefty on lefty matchup. Here comes the pitch. That's chopped towards the right side. The first baseman, Pete Durkee, is there. A race to the bag. Durkee is in victory as we head towards the top of the 8th inning. 6-1 the ballgame in favor of the Saints. Thomas McCarthy leads things off here in the top half of the 8th inning. It'll be McCarthy, Christian Scott, and Anthony Forte if anyone gets on. Thomas Lovano. There's a new pitcher on the mound for your Orange County Riptide out of Texas Tech, Andrew Davis. 6'3", 200 pounds out of Frisco, Texas. Attended Wakeland High School. Righty on righty matchup. Well, we started off the game with Tyler Booth, then Noah Walker, and now we have the likings of Andrew Davis on the mound. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Davis just trying to keep the deficit at where it's at. 5 runs currently here in the top half of the 8th inning. No additional movement in the bullpen for the Riptide. There is a right-hander getting up and throwing in the pen for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Their starter, Hayden Harris, has been terrific thus far. 8 strikeouts, 7 innings pitched, only 1 earned run. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. High fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. Throw it around the horn, Connor Aoki.
What's anybody else have?
Now batting number 12, Christian Scott.
That'll make way for Christian Scott. Scott reached on a single his first time up, walked in the 5th his second time up, then struck out his 3rd time up in the 6th inning. Righty on lefty matchup. Davis on the mound for the Tide. Delivers the first pitch that runs inside. It jammed Christian Scott. He's able to foul it off. No balls and 1 strike. 6 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Saints. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for your Riptide. The outfield playing fairly deep. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's in the dirt. The count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. At Texas Tech, during the 2019 season, a 13.50 ERA for Andrew Davis on the mound. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. The bottom falls out of that one. It swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. One ball and 2 strikes to count. 6-1 ball game. Davis delivers a pitch. Ripped down towards right field. Going back is Connor Obi at the track. Looking up. It clears the fence for a home run.
Who's coming up to the plate?
37.
For Christian Scott, that is his 4th home run of the season. Scott actually leads the team in home runs.
Now batting number 37, Nolan Tressler.
Good thing we got it right.
The right-hander delivers a pitch. Inside fastball that runs too far inside and low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 is fouled back towards the netting. Pinch hitting for Anthony Forte, Nolan Tressler, number 37 here for the Arroyo Seco Saints. One ball, 1 strike, 1 man down, 6-run deficit for your Tide. The 1-1 pitch bounces before even getting to home plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. No movement in the bullpen for the Riptide. Perhaps Noah Walker will be their final pitcher of the game, unless maybe they can come back to take the lead. Pitch is fouled back towards the netting. It drives the count to 2-2. Thomas Lovano waits in the on-deck circle for the Saints. 6:30 p.m. start time for today's matchup. It was a tightly contested ball game up until the top half of the fifth inning. The Saints put a 5 spot on the scoreboard, giving them a 6-1 lead. They've added another here off a solo home run from the bat of Christian Scott. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Throw it around the horn, Connor Aoki.
Number 20.
Second strikeout of the inning for Noah Walker, as Morgan Allen steps into the box in place of Thomas Lovano.
Morgan Allen.
So with a 6-run lead late in the ball game, the manager for the Arroyo Seco Saints deciding to give some other players on his staff an opportunity at some action. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Drew Cowley waits in the on-deck circle. Would you look at that? Double digits, 12 hits in the game for the Saints. The count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander looks down the barrel to get a sign. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Hit towards the right side, past the outstretched glove of Trey Lipscomb. Connor Roby plays it in right field. Morgan Allen reaches on a 2-out single as Drew Cowley steps into the box. Cowley is 3 for 4 with a 3 RBI triple that came during the bottom half of the 5th inning. He also had an RBI single in the the top half of the first. Davis delivers the pitch. That's in the dirt. Aoki keeps it in front of him. 1 ball and no strikes. Andy Garriola awaits in the on-deck circle. Morgan Allen leads off of first. He reached on a single. Good-sized lead. Being up 6 runs in front, you doubt he'll go ahead and attempt a stolen base. A check swing he did go, says the home plate umpire. The count is even out 1-1. The Riptide on the verge of dropping their 2nd straight game, as the 1-1 pitch is fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was a 9-4 loss on Sunday against the Santa Barbara Foresters. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 men down. Cowley at the plate. Allen leads off of first. The right-hander delivers. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Well, Andrew Davis strikes out the side, though he does give up a solo home run. To the bottom of the 8th we go. We are 6 runs down, but not out. Let's see what happens. Eric Bagani steps in as a pinch hitter for Connor Aoki. He pops this one up foul. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Arroyo Seco Saints. That is Drew Adderton. He's out of Crescenta Valley High School, out of La Crescenta, California. 5'10", 165 pounds. Dylan Rock awaits in the on-deck circle. Broken back ground ball towards the right side. Thomas Lovano is there. And I can assure you that Eric Bagani would have preferred to stay out of the ballgame. Not only is he retired, but he also has a broken bat.
Now batting from UT San Antonio, number 22, Dylan Rock.
Dylan Rock steps into the box. Rock reached on a pair of errors during the first and third inning. He grounded out towards shortstop in the fifth. Andre Anton in the on-deck circle. Pitch is in there for a strike. An aggressive call there by the home plate umpire. I heard that from up here. No balls and 1 strike. Seven to 1 ball game. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Slider that trails outside and in the dirt. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 caught. The Riptide have yet to see a lead in this ball game. They scored 1 run to tie up the game after the first inning. Then it became 6-1. Now it's 7-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Time is called at the plate. Drew Adderton out of Cal Poly Pomona looks down the barrel to get a sign. The right-hander delivers a 1-2 pitch. Slider swung on. He checked. Called strike 3 nonetheless.
Now batting from UC Irvine, number 30, Andre Anton.
Andre Anton steps into the box. He's 0 for 3. He struck out and flied out towards right field twice. Anton out of UC Irvine. During that non-league matchup against the Ventura County Pirates, he started the game. 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Off the end of the bat towards the right side and out of play. During that game against the Pirates, Anton started on the mound, threw 2 2/3, surrendered 2 earned runs, walked 3, struck out none. Gave up only 1 hit. 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander delivers the pitch. Runs inside, it swung on and missed. 2-2. Andre Anton swinging out of his shoes. Was looking to bring the Riptide back within 5. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Slapped foul towards the right side. During that game against the Ventura County Pirates, we saw Andre Anton on the mound, Justin Lewis, Taylor Penley, and Cole Samuels. Taylor Penley had perhaps the most impressive outing. He threw a complete 3 innings, striking out 5. There's a ground ball hit well towards the left side, but into the glove of Jason Gonzalez. He airmails the throw. Andre Antoine reaches safely on an error.
Now batting from the University of Tennessee, number 23, Trey Lipscomb.
Out of the University of Tennessee, Trey Lipscomb digs in for his 4th AB of the evening. He flew out towards center field in the first, grounded towards second in the third, then grounded towards short in the 6th inning. As Anselm leading off at first reached on an error. The first pitch is a slider, swung on and missed 0-1. Hayden Harris started off the game for the Arroyo Seco Saints, delivered a magnificent outing through a complete 7 innings, striking out 8, surrendering only 1 run. No balls and 2 strikes. Currently the count to Trey Lipscomb. Josh Solomon awaits in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Slider in the dirt, way outside, swung on and missed. We head to the top of the 9th inning. It's not looking good, but it's still not out 27. Here we go.
Batting number 9, Andy
Do something with this ball and make some magic.
Andrew Davis remains on the mound for your Orange County Riptide. Coming in as a defensive substitution, Daniel Jung takes the bag at first base from Joshua Solomon. Pete Durkee leading things off here for the Arroyo Seco Saints. 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander looks down the barrel to get a sign, delivers a 1-0 pitch. Now runs inside and high. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
By the way, Trey against NAL. Oh, my shot. He made 4 diving.
2 balls and no strikes.
And then he did some routine. That feels good.
Right-hander delivers the pitch. Foul ball off the catcher's mask. 2 balls and 1 strike remains the count. Or changes the count, pardon me. Where's the baseball? It's now 3-1. 3-1 the count. Davis delivers. Hit towards right field. Connor Olby plays it on a hop.
Now by number 32, Pete Durkay.
Is it that much top?
Meeting on the mound, perhaps that is the end of the outing for Andrew Davis.
Guess it's 25 pitches in.
Sure enough, it is. We'll be right back. Michael DiFilippi comes into the ball game in replacement of Andrew Davis.
Well, every time I've seen it, all right. This is where you want to get it all.
1 ball and no strikes to count.
Start opening up the zone ball here.
Pete Durkay at the plate for the Saints. Here's the 1-0. Hit towards center field. Michael Peabody is there. He'll make the play.
He's funky. He's just kind of, he's got like big feet.
1 away.
He's kind of a big dude.
Now by number 16, Jason Gonzalez.
Him? Yeah.
His strikeout rate is
No, he doesn't strike out guys.
Jason Gonzalez steps into the box. He's 1 for 4 with a single and 3 strikeouts.
Extra base hits. No? A lot of singles.
mixed.
What's his ERA?
1.15.
It's all right.
Gives up 10.5 hits per 9. Strikes out 5.5. Walks 3.5.
Doesn't walk that many guys, but doesn't strike
His
us.
whip is 1.6.
What do you like to see about the,
Pitch is in there for a ball. 2-0.
what is like,
1.3 and above. There's like 3 quarters of the pitchers here. Is entirely, but like also here. If you I would say I'm like good number threshold. Or good.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Misses way outside for ball 3.
Well, yeah, I think
DiFilippi out of San Diego, California.
life or Lipscomb Sunlit.
Committed to Pacific University.
Nick Jones is like 1.5.
he should be better.
3 balls and no strikes. Left-hander looks down the barrel to get a sign. Here comes the pitch. Towards right center field, it'll fall in for a base hit. The runner who was on first, Andy Garriola, makes it all the way towards third. Runners on the corners with only one man down as Evan Russell steps into the box.
Now batting number 8, Evan Russell.
This is whacked down the left field side, but out of play. Russell grounded out towards second his first time up, then he walked. He then singled in the sixth. And that sound there was a baseball collapsing because since we're down by 6 runs here in the top of the 9th inning, our public address announcer, Joe, decided to stack some objects on top of a baseball as if it was a genius idea. Perhaps not since everything collapsed, but we tried. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thomas McCarthy awaits in the on-deck circle. Andy Garriola leads off at third. Jason Gonzalez leads off at first. Filippi delivers. Pitch is swung on and missed. The runner from first base, Jason Gonzalez, broke towards second. Not sure that's why he did it with a 6-run lead on this late in the ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Chopper towards the left side. Past the glove of Andre Antone. Well, coming into the inning, there was still a crack in the door. But now 2 runs crossing the plate and making this an 8-run deficit. It's fair to say that the door has been shut on the Riptide's opportunity to come back into the matchup. Thomas McCarthy steps into the box. That was a 2 RBI double off the bat of Evan Russell. There's still only 1 away here in the inning. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Two and 0 the count. Three and 0 now the count.
He was actually
against the Academy. And then Sunday is Tech.
The left-hander delivers a 3-0 pitch, delivers it on a platter for a strike.
going to try to extend all these guys because he doesn't really have a choice. You know, somebody's going to get
McCarthy at the plate. Christian Scott awaits on deck. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Inside fastball for ball 4. The game has had a fairly quick pace, but being down by this many runs, you feel, well, as if the game has been going on forever. A rip towards the right side. It'll fall in for an RBI single. Ten to 1 ball game. Well, coming into the matchup, you did not expect it. Here we are in the 9th inning, and the Riptide are down by 9 runs.
Now batting number 37, Nolan Tripoli.
Orange County coming into the game had a league record of 17-11. The Saints a 14-14 league record. They're looking to boost, or by the score, they'll definitely boost their winning percentage above 500. High fastball for a ball, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Off the end of the bat towards the left side and out of play.
And by the way, you know what this game does for them in the playoffs, right? Yep. Follow. Say what you want. This is who you're going to be matching up in the playoffs.
2 balls and 1 strike. Davis takes a peek towards second, delivers a 2-1. Makes his way outside for a ball. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. The left-hander delivers the pitch. Ball 4. Well, now it's getting old. This has been a very, very, very long top half of the 9th inning. There'll be a meeting on the mound, and we'll take a short break. Morgan Allen steps into the box. He has the bases loaded, looking to bring upon some more damage. 9-run lead. Can they bring it into double digits? Andrew Davis having trouble finding the strike zone.
I'm not asking who you want. I said who is going with.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Flat out towards the right side and out of play. Drew Colley awaits in the on-deck circle. The base is full of Saints. Has to be the 3rd or 4th time this game where they have the bases loaded. Less than 2 outs. Their 3rd time around. Thanks for the confirmation, Joe. Left-hander on right-hander. We need an out. We need 2. We need to go home. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Head towards the right side, another fly.
I don't want to take another long to fill up Lipscomb, surely, if Sunday against Foresters. His second inning work,
2 balls and 2 strikes to Morgan Allen.
right-hander wise,
Here comes the pitch. Slapped foul. So, I mean, kudos to the Saints. Despite them being up by 9 runs, these players are putting together some solid at-bats.
they're trying to send a message.
17 hits. Wow. 17 hits. And for the Riptide, 5. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball towards the right side. Taylor made for a double play to second for 1. On to first, not in time. Well, they've done it. It's now a 10-run deficit for the Tide.
Now batting number 21, Drew Howley.
Duke Alley steps into the box. The Saints are one hitter away from batting around the order this half inning. Hit out towards right center field. Going back, Michael Peabody at the track. He'll make the play. And that's actually very satisfying because everyone, their mother in their stadium, thought the ball was out. I'm glad it wasn't, because that would have been even more icing on the cake. Well, if you believe in baseball miracles, stay with us. If you don't, good night. We head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Daniel Jung leads things off here in the bottom half of the ninth inning for the OC Riptide. First pitch is a fastball on the outer half, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, we're down by 10 runs. All we need is 2 grand slams and a 2-run home run. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball towards the left side. A trio of Saints and a sliding catch from their left fielder, Evan Russell. Well, they're doing it offensively, defensively, and on the mound. All around, very, very, very well played ball game here from Arroyo Seco.
Number 1, Antonio Cruz.
Antonio Cruz out of Rice University steps into the box here in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Who's on deck?
Chad Crosby awaits now in the on-deck circle in place of Connor Roby. This is hit down the left field line, a few feet foul. So no balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And there for a strike. It's now 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside fastball for a ball. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Did he go? The first base umpire says that he did. Well, some chirping coming from the first base dugout of the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Now batting batting from the University of Miami, number 7, Jack Crosby.
Chad Crosby steps into the box.
We pitched this.
1 ball, no strikes.
That's funny, right? Because that's not very good.
The right-hander looks down the barrel to get a sign. Foul towards the left side and out of play.
This lineup could beat that. We have to throw better. He's fine to throw against them. He could be fine. He could be fine.
The 1-1 runs inside. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So what? You know. Yeah, I'm not feeling super confident like that.
The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. The final line for today's
As
matchup.
soon as you read that
11 runs, 17 hits, 3 errors for the Saints. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Riptide. That's the end of the ball game. We're glad it is. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. It's a new day. It'll be a new game. And we surely hope it'll be a new result. Thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. Jonathan Ortiz signing off the mic. Have a very good night.